Okay, I'm back. I've changed my mind about something here. I had a good idea. Well, I think it's a good idea. Rather than taking off the strings and pulling out the pickups, which would mess with the setup of the guitar and potentially change some sounds, I'm going to leave the switch installed and connect the other harness, the new harness, the old harness, the older harness, which is new to the guitar. And we'll just record the little A/B demo that way. And that way the only thing that's changed is the harness. We didn't take off the strings and potentially mess with any of that. Okay, now find some stuff here. I think I have some vintage dial indicators, which is what I'm looking for. I do have some nice vintage reflector knobs here. But that's not what we're after right now. '59 switch nut. 59 switch nut. And poker chip. Oh, I guess I don't have the vintage dial indicators here. Actually have another one of these switch nuts though. Let me go look one more place and see if I have them. Okay, no, it turns out I don't have those, but I do have, from my good friends at Angela Instruments, back in my my old stomping grounds of Bethesda, Maryland. I believe I have another suitable part for this guitar here. And that is a third 1959 switch nut. I'll put it in here with the bag of the others. And I will have to hunt down those dial indicators at another time. But that's fine because there's all variety of aging that needs to take place on various hardware for this guitar. Thought I had some nickel washers I could use in the meantime. I don't, but I have these stainless ones. They'll work. They are just temporary after all. All right, so oh, that's going to be something, huh? Because we had a metric pot in there before, remember? So that's a bit tight, but it looks like it'll fit. Maybe. get our reference photo out here for proper pot orientation. Okay, that's pulling through nicely. And I'm not cranking it down. Just placing it on there. Okay, now this bridge volume had 2 star washers on it. Oh my goodness, I've done a naughty thing. Oh, I'm so bad. Okay, if you remember back on the original video where I started these, I didn't push down all these tabs. I only put down 2 on each pot because I thought I might be getting back in there, but then I tested them and I don't have to get back in there, but I never pushed those tabs back down until right now. So I'm gonna have to take those 2 pots back out and push those tabs down. I'm gonna have to cut this video short too. I've got an appointment. Two appointments. Well, that's probably why I was having to. I mean, those pots probably just would stay nice and firmly located where they were with those tabs up, but let's do it right. Okay. Well, I'm glad I saw it on the other. Man, these feel good now. These were some crusty pots. Go back and watch the other videos. This is like, you know, nearing the end. Maybe it is the end for this harness. There's 2 or 3 others ahead of this as far as videos about it. Okay. Let's go back and watch them. It was kind of crusty when I got it. Okay. Yeah, it made a little bit of a difference. It might just end up that I have to put some washers under these pots. basically a given with this one. That's up high. I remember one of the tone pots was up high before, and I couldn't remember which one it was. So pull a couple more of these lock washers out. Now, I won't be using these stainless washers when I come back in here and do this right. I will be using the dial indicators at that point. Hopefully I'll find my vintage ones. Well, it's closer. If not, either way, I've got some. Ooh, is that sitting even there? If not, I've got some vintage bell knobs to put on anyway, and I got to do some aging on other hardware. Okay, let's try like that. I think there's a little bit of a ledge that this had a leg sitting on. I want to make sure I'm not putting any pressure on the pot legs. Okay. All right, good. I'm gonna stick with Tom's recommendation for 2 lock washers on there unless I feel that we need to change it. Good. Hopefully I'm on camera here still. I really considered just pulling the pickups and the strings and putting my preferred strings on, and and maybe changing the pickups a little too. But I'm glad we didn't, because I want to hear it with the new harness before I decide for sure on the pickups. Although I'm pretty sure I've kind of gone back and forth on what I'm going to put in it. Right now it's got my Bartlett PAFs in there, which are A5, long A5s, long unoriented A5s. Anyone who just watched this video learned a cool thing. Okay, I think we're good. And I thought they were a little bright for this guitar, at least in my Plexi. Yeah, not in the clip though. So it all kind of depends what I'm going to do with them. I'm going to set knobs on here just for the sake of having some numbers to reference. I'm not going to push them down far though. They're just going to be there so that we can match the numbers from the last test. Some green painted over the gold on these. All right, and then this is going to just get clipped back. This is going to get fed through here. I'll show you what happens to this guy. Now I have to identify which of these leads is the pickup so that we can land them on the appropriate lugs. And I guess I'll tack solder them in. It'll just be easier. Okay, let's see. So I'm gonna guess this is a pickup, just by the way the lead is pushed back. Maybe not. Okay, that's the pickup. Let's do like this. We're gonna go white is the neck pickup. Orange is the bridge pickup. Okay. All right. Just the tiniest little bit of solder. So only got to hold it on there for a few minutes. Now I want to specifically not burn the insulation on that cap there. Okay. And I think I'm going to not solder these switch and cap leads. Because I don't want to melt the insulation. That didn't take. There we go. Okay, so what I need to do is use some alligator clips. I don't remember where I put it on. I have a drawer of alligator clips somewhere. Oh, here we go. Bag of alligator clips, what I would say. All right, can you see what I'm doing in here? Kind of. I'm just tucking in the switch leads to the lugs of the pots where the caps are already located. They are tucked in as well. And I may not have to clip them because there's like very close quarters. Oh, you know what? I do have to solder the... I have to solder the chassis ground for the guitar. That's important. Okay. So I'm going to just try and slip these in there into the lugs with those cap leads. And I think that that will be enough to hold them in place. This one is probably used to be tinned. It's very dry and it doesn't want to go, so I'm going to tin it. It just keeps coming apart on me. Go into that one backwards. Yeah. Okay. I think that'll be good. And then I'm going to try and ground them all in one shot to them. Actually, I'm going to need a more traditional grounding, or more traditional jumper here. This way I can ground the other one as well. So I'm just grabbing both braided shields and trying to ground them to the grounded lug of this pod. Same pod. Of course, that doesn't want to work out. All right, that's got it. Now I've got to do the same kind of thing over here with this switch lead, and it has even less room. Better tin that one too, because I know what I'm in for. They could probably just come in backwards on this one too. There we go. Oh. Trying to put a bend in it so it stays firm. And even push it between the lug and that other connection there. Oh, it does not want to go. Okay. Okay, that should be firm. And then another ground jumper across these two shields to ground both of them to the ground lug of this pot. We don't have the tone pots connected to ground. Okay. I'll just do that with some jumpers so we can get on with the day, and then I'm going to do the ground bus afterwards. Okay. That's just a bunch of ground leads, so it shouldn't matter that there's spaghetti because it's all grounds. It's just a lot of shielding. I mean, it's not ideal, really. Okay, and then this is going to serve, this is just a little jack with some alligator clips on the end of it that I use for testing things, and that will become the ground point over here, and then we're good. I got 7 minutes, which is like exactly the time I need. All right, see, that's just clipped there. Okay, the guitar was positioned just exactly as that. I didn't change the voltage on the amp, so I'm just turning the switch back on the Variac. Soldering iron is off, so it shouldn't interfere. That's probably what it was last time. I was thinking it was my phone. It's the soldering iron. All right, and a quick little function test here. Perfect. And wouldn't be a silence if we didn't use the same pick. Okay. This is tuned to D with strings that are not mine, and it has not been set up since it got here. But I think that shows off the, that illustrates the point. I mean, it sounds pretty good to me. I don't know actually if it sounds all that different. We'll have to find out. when I go back and review the video. But for now, let's get this spaghetti out of here. Next thing I'm going to do is get this back in the case. I'm going to probably put some pure nickel strings on it. And then evaluate the pickups. I don't know. Maybe I'll just play it a little bit more. I mean, I know what the strings are going to do. I also don't have my vintage ABR1 on there yet. I could do that as well. Okay. Still gotta do the ground wire on this. I'm gonna untack the pickup leads. Actually, I don't really need to. Switch should come out without them. Yeah, they're fine. Okay, I'm just gonna put this back in the case. We're good for now. I gotta go. See ya.